Hey everybody, and this may be the last video I do for today because it is beginning to rain. And once again, it's still spitting, but it's beginning to get a little heavier. I don't want my equipment getting wet, and I don't like my body getting wet either. And this guy is just a giant glob. It's got so much stuff going on in here that, oh man, it could go 10 different ways. As far as where I want first branch, second branch, where's the apex, what kind of movement do I want in it. Obviously, if we look close in here, we see we've got the informal upright movement coming like up into here, I guess, but there's another huge branch in the back that could also be the apex back in there. So, do I keep this as a second main branch? Do I go to the back? This could possibly be the front. In fact, I'm probably thinking that this was the front, because that certainly, now check this branch out, comes out and then completely back around. That's pretty weird. That guy right there. So that's a perfect example of branches that you just don't want because they just look dumb. So regardless of what the front is and how we're going to eventually style this guy, he comes off. And I guess this was the front, which makes all this back the back. Oh, I love my logic. But even with it being the back, it still could use some trimming. So let's get to it. This one is also flowering pretty profusely. It's Elmer Fudd. That's all, folks. I'm not in the mood to just skeletonize it and just rip it into pieces, so I've had other videos where I've been in that mood and just like crack. So that's probably a pretty decent front, perhaps even here. So when I repot it, I will spin it just a little tiny bit. And this whole branch right here is pretty heavy. And this part of this branch is now looking like a parallel branch, which is competing with the lower first main branch. So I think I am going to take him off completely. There we go. We still have a very heavy duty back branch, so that really didn't change all that much. Where does this guy come from? Is he coming from there? Oh, he's coming from the second main branch, but still don't want that on there either. We've got a lot of stuff that's coming straight at us. And then, keeping with the trend that this is going to be a very dense tree, completely unlike the very long bunjin-like tree that I just did. I'm just going to give it a haircut. There probably will be a time when I take this tree and skeletonize it even more. But I think there's two reasons that I don't want to do it right now. One is I haven't really made the decision on where to go with this tree, and number two is I'm getting rained on. I don't like getting rained on. So, oh, and this is another anomaly, this tree, because it's actually growing in landscape mix. I don't know if you can tell, but it's growing in just totally 100 potting soil, 100% potting soil, versus the last tree that I did that's in my incredibly rocky bonsai soil. And I've got two, and I kind of did an experiment with them. I have two that are growing in pure landscape mix, and I don't think it made that much difference. So when I repot this guy, he will go into bonsai soil. And it may also be leaning a little too far forward, so, put them up like that when it's time to repot. Yeah, these guys are just flowering like crazy. None of the flowers have really emerged. And I feel like I'm late, doing the root pruning, but it was so cold. We had another near freeze. Like the 15th, 16th of February? Even later, I think it was. Far later than I ever remember. The average latest freeze is the 15th of February. And the record latest freeze is the 15th of March. But I've been here 50 years and I don't ever remember it freezing in March. And that freeze that we just had, which in my yard did not freeze, got down to like 33, 34. It was also about the latest I ever remember getting that cold. But I think spring is here now. But I feel like I'm late because a lot of things are sprouting and really beginning to get the sap flowing. And I haven't root pruned them. And that's part of the reason why you root prune temperate trees when they're dormant, is so that when the sap does start to flow, you're not chopping off brand new roots. So anyway, the dilemma of being a gardener, right? So anyway, that's it for me on this one. And I think it's for me for today too, because it's just the rain is just becoming too annoying. So leave a comment. Are you annoyed by rain too? Now I love rain, especially when my lawn is dry. And actually the entire state of Florida is in drought. Some places are in exceptional drought. I think we are in, what do they call it? There's abnormally dry. Then there's, I don't know what you call, like normal drought, then severe drought, then exceptional drought. And so I think we're into the next one above abnormally dry. So it's been pretty dry. So this rain is, even though it's just a little sprinkly, is welcome as far as the landscape is concerned. And anyway, I'm rambling on again. What else is new?